How do you know what Kundalini is doing, rising or descending? I had my Kundalini awakening 2 to 3 years ago after a twin flame experience. Now my heart is shut down. I hold a lot of aggression. Very interesting question. So I was just speaking about this topic yesterday with a woman named Julie Hoyle. I'm gonna have her on my podcast. Well, I already did. The episode will be out soon. But we were talking about this idea of a top-down awakening, a bottom-up awakening, whether the energy rises, descends. There's so many different ways of looking at it. However, those are conceptual models that we use with the mind to try and understand this in terms of space and time, right? Direction, which way is it moving, up or down, rising, descending. Ultimately, this process is just the entire body is being transformed. That's really what you have to know about it. Sometimes it's going up and down at the same time. Sometimes it's going left and right. It's traveling in all sorts of dimensions. And we don't have to know all of the details about it. We can just surrender and trust that this is like puberty. It just happens. It's unfolding naturally, organically. And we don't need to know all of the details. We can tune in and perceive some of the directions the energy is flowing and work to collaborate and cooperate with it just by surrendering and observing. However, it's not super important to understand rising or descending. So Julie gave a really great example of this point where she described early on in her journey, she did a forward fold in a Pilates class or something and felt a pop in her lower back. Prior to that, she fell off a horse and hit her lower back. Then later on, she had a vision where a guru appeared before her and tapped her on the head, and this immense amount of Shakti poured into her head. So was she having a top-down awakening? Was she having a bottom-up awakening? She's having both. She's just having the awakening process. The transformation of consciousness happening inside of her. And the example she gave to really make this point hit home was that in another vision, a great guru sort of appeared and tapped her on the elbow. And then when he tapped her on the elbow, the Shakti went through her elbow and went through the rest of her body. So up, down, left, right, elbows, knees, feet. It's just the transformation of consciousness. So I see here, Matthew, you're describing here that your heart is shut down and you hold a lot of aggression. So for me, having similar experiences, I put my hands on my heart and I just said with every breath, I love you. I love you. And there was this light that I imagined in my heart radiating up to the top of my head, down to the bottom of my feet simultaneously with each exhale. And every part of my body that this light touched, thoughts, emotions, feelings, sensations, parts of my body, my memory, it was all loved. And loved means I recognize it as part of the light. So that's how I was able to really open my heart. And in an open heart, we allow everything to pass through that open heart. It's a space where things can pass through without judgment. Even aggression, it can all pass through there. So you don't have to bottle up aggression, suppress it, deny it, feel as if it's something wrong or bad. We all have aggression. It serves, right? We need to be aggressive at times to protect ourselves, the ones we love, etc. But of course, we don't want to be, aggressive in a context that doesn't, demand it. And so what we can do is we can create space and a container for you to let the aggression out in a safe way. Maybe it's going in your car and just screaming, going to a forest, screaming, beating up a pillow, boxing, martial arts, a safe way to let out the aggression. And when the aggression is let out, it's gone, it's exhausted out of your system. And then from there, it's no longer impeding you and you can actually find some deep, deep peace. This is the paradox. People feel a difficult emotion and they think, I can't feel this. I need to find a way to not feel this. That doesn't involve actually expressing it. It doesn't work like that. We have to express it in a safe way. So of course, that means, not going and yelling at people or fighting with people and whatnot, but finding a safe container to let it out. So I hope that helps, Matthew.